Hey there, folks. Imagine a traffic jam that could mess with our daily grind. Picture this. A bunch of colossal cargo ships creating a maritime gridlock at one of the world's vital trade routes, the legendary Panama Canal. This 80-kilometer wonder has been the go-to link between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans for over a century, hosting around 14,000 ships annually, handling a whopping 6% of global trade. But here's the kicker. It's facing some serious issues. Technical glitches, space constraints, and climate challenges are throwing this engineering marvel into jeopardy. What's the scoop behind the potential demise of the Panama Canal? Stick around and let's uncover the mysteries together. Now let's rewind the clock to the late 1800s in France, where we meet the legendary Ferdinand de Lesseps, aka the Great Frenchman. Back in 1880, he had this wild dream of connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans by digging an 80-kilometer channel south of Panama. Bold move, right? Fresh off the success of the Suez Canal, he thought, why not double down? Spoiler alert, it didn't go as planned. The Panama site was no walk in the park. Dense jungles, a towering hill, and brutal tropical conditions made it a nightmare for workers. Malaria, yellow fever, financial scandals, you name it. Despite a failed attempt that cost lives and fortunes, the envy for the Panama Canal endured. Fast forward to today, the canal's facing new challenges. What's the deal? Let's dive in and explore the twists and turns together. Ready for this epic journey? Let's roll. Ever wondered why the Panama Canal is losing its mojo? Let's rewind a bit. Back in the day, the US jumped into this less than 100 kilometers route to dodge the whole South America detour and save time and cash. Fast forward to 1903, Panama declares independence with a little help from its friends, aka the US, scoring them a sweet deal for the canal and a 16-kilometer wide slice of Panama. So, work kicks off in 1904 with the genius idea of a lock canal, thanks to vaccines keeping nasty diseases at bay. This mammoth project takes a decade, involving tons of rock clearing, 40,000 workers, and some serious steam engine action. Flash forward again, and the US shells out a whopping $375 million for this 79.6-kilometer marvel. The canal officially opens in 1914, just in time for World War I, giving the US total control over this maritime lifeline. But hold up, there's a twist. In the 70s, the US starts passing the baton back to Panama. By 1999, Panama's the proud owner of the canal. How cool is that? It's not just about waterways and container ships, it's like the economic heartbeat of Panama. This liquid lifeline rakes in a whopping 10% of the country's cash flow, making it a serious big shot on the financial scene. But hold up, amigos, it's not all smooth sailing. You think cruising through this unique corridor is a freebie? Think again. According to the Canal Control Authority, they're like the gatekeepers of the coolest water slide ever. Passage fees are like the VIP tickets to a concert you desperately want to attend. We're talking anywhere from 10 grand for the smaller vessels to a jaw-dropping $300,000 for those mega Neo-Panamax container ships. Imagine ships so colossal they're basically floating cities, stretching a whopping 3.65 meters long and carrying a mind-blowing 12,000 containers. Yeah, you heard it right, minus 12,000. And guess what? Prices can shoot through the roof during peak periods. It's like the Black Friday of water highways. Port administrators even throw some slots into an auction, where ships bid to secure their express lane. Recently, a chemical tanker dropped a jaw-dropping $2.4 million just to be the ultimate canal rock star and skip ahead of the line. Talk about making waves. It's not just about ships and fees. It's a saga of economics and intrigue. Picture this. A money-making marvel that's facing a serious identity crisis. That's the Panama Canal for you. Ever wondered how this aquatic shortcut operates? Well, buckle up, because the canal's future is riding on borrowed time, and we've got the lowdown. Back in the day, the clever engineers behind the canal didn't bulldoze everything in sight. No, sir. They crafted a genius plan, leveling the road before creating not one but two artificial lakes. The superstar being Lake Gatun and its sidekick, the Alajuela, formerly known as Lake Maiden. These watery wonders get their mojo from inland rivers. Now, imagine cruising on a road that's 28 meters above sea level. How do you manage that? Enter the locks, nifty contraptions that lift and lower boats like a maritime elevator. But hold on, it's not all smooth sailing. You need locomotives on the canal's banks to shuffle boats between locks. It's a masterpiece in motion, but it comes at a cost. A hopping 200 to 250 million liters of fresh water flushed to the ocean every time a boat passes through. Rainy days make this a non-issue, but what happens when the heavens are stingy? Global warming is throwing a curveball, and droughts are crashing the canal party more often. Since 2016 and 2019, Panama's been hit with a drought double whammy, thanks to the El Niño weather phenomenon hogging the spotlight on weather maps. Rainfall indicators in the region are stuck at zero, dragging river and lake levels down to the abyss. The canal's feeling the pinch, literally. Authorities are sweating bullets, taking precautionary measures as the water levels drop. They're slashing the tonnage of boats to prevent them from playing Titanic, and the number of container ships in the daily convoy has shrunk from 40 to 32. Cue longer queues at the canal's entrance. Not exactly the VIP treatment these ships signed up for. Now, are we witnessing the slow decline of this aquatic wonder? So, picture this: the Panama Canal, a vital waterway that's been connecting oceans for ages. Unlike its counterpart, the Suez Canal, it relies on a cool lock system and some seriously skilled operators to navigate the ships through. Now, here's the juicy part. With a skyrocketing demand but not enough elbow room, the waiting times are stretching longer than a giraffe's neck. Imagine going from a chill 4 days wait to a hopping 20 days in mid-August. Yikes. Back in 2006, Panama hit the headlines as it grappled with long queues. Why? Because the canal was aging faster than a celebrity on TikTok, too small for those new and gigantic container ships. They just kept getting larger, wider, and bigger. Fast forward to 2016, Panama decided it was makeover time. A whopping $6 billion later, they expanded the canal, opening doors, or locks, to be precise, for 95% of the world's ships. Lake Gatun got a facelift too, deepened by 45 centimeters to let more boats shimmy through. But, surprise, surprise, the water shortage issue stuck around like a bad hangover after a wild party. Panama's facing drought, and the canal is feeling a bit parched. The first move: confirming passage restrictions for the upcoming year. Rain gods, we need you. Now, here's the real twist. If things don't get rainy by November, the end of Panama's rainy season, ship owners might start looking at other routes. Ever heard of the Arctic route? Yeah, it's gaining traction as temperatures rise and ice melts. The canal drying up is not just a shipping issue. It's affecting the 2 million people in Panama City who rely on it for drinking water. Talk about a ripple effect. But wait, there's hope on the horizon. The authorities are brainstorming solutions. Enter Ricord Vasquez, the canal administrator, with a plan: a new water reservoir to the west, fueled by the Indio River, and an underground tunnel feeding Lake Gatun. It sounds epic, right? Yet, here's the catch. Building this watery wonderland will take time. Around 3 months with abundant rainfall, or a hopping 2.5 years if drought keeps its grip. Another potential savior: extracting liquid gold from Lake Bayano and pouring it into the sea passage. Sounds like a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? Now, before you start worrying too much, the latest word is that the situation is getting better. Boats are waiting less than they did a month or two ago. But there's always a but. Lake Gatun is still playing hard to get. hanging more than 2 meters below its seasonal norms. Drama alert. And there you have it, folks, the incredible journey into the secrets of the Panama Canal. We've dived deep into the heart of this aquatic marvel, exploring its challenges, triumphs, and the quest to keep it alive. But hold on a sec. What do you think lies ahead for the Panama Canal? Will it rise from the depths of its struggles, or are we witnessing the end of an era? Make sure to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the adventure, and ring that notification bell to stay updated on all things mysterious and amazing.